Hey everyone, welcome to another video. So today I wanted to take it back a little bit and share my experience when I was working as a CNA on my med-surg unit, at my local hospital, and every other little side hustle and little thing I had going on to get my money, to make a living, to take care of my kids, how I prevented the burnout. Now, working is just a part of life, and for some of us we really enjoy stop TT, you always do this. Some of us, we enjoy our work because it's tied to our passion and our calling and our purpose and all these things in between. Stop and wait. But you still have to be mindful of doing what you got to do, but also not burning your candle on at both ends, and that it's possible. And I feel like, as a woman, I really was never designed to be working 40 plus hours a week. That's just my personal opinion, the way my mind is set up, the way my body is set up. And so these I wanted to share are just a few little things that I started implementing. Like I said, no matter what job, no matter what industry it was, that I maintained to protect my sanity, protect my peace, and again, to prevent the burnout. Because there was a time when I really was just doing what I had to do for the money and not because, oh, I just love it so much. You know what I mean? It was just the phase that I was in, due to choices I had made and just picking up the pieces and all that in between. So one thing I did was I got intentional about my schedule. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't get in that office and talk to your hiring manager about, you willing to do the job, but you need to be able to do it from a standpoint of that it makes sense. So I'm not saying apply for a job that says, this job is a 9 to 5 job and you're like, well, I want to work, 9 to 3. I'm not talking about that per se, unless, hey, if you're seasoned, you've been in there for a while, they might. Look, you never know until you ask, but I'm just talking about planning what you need around your schedule and working with the person that writes the schedule and knows, hey, I have kids, so can I do this and can I do that so that I can do my job the best way, show up as my best self, and have the perfect work-life balance. So for example, when I worked at this daycare and Raelle would go with me, she was in like the toddler class and I had the pre-K class. I would take a later lunch in the evening around 2:30, 3 o'clock so that I could drive across town and get my oldest from her elementary school because the bus didn't come over there, bring her back, and that was considered my break. I would eat in the car and bring her back, like I said, and then finish out the rest of my shift. Now, I had to think that plan up, make it make sense, and then present it to my manager. And again, I was like, because the benefit would be that, I don't have to quit. Someone else can cover my class right in a certain part of the day where they're just waking up. They won't have to do too much. I'll have everything already pre-planned, pre-played out. Like I presented it as if like this can work because, you know what I mean? Versus me taking my lunch while they're down for a nap and, I don't have anyone to get my kids. So that's what I did. I presented it, she accepted it, and it got us through. When I became a CNA and I was working on my unit, I would say, hey, it's easier for me to work weekends than it is during the week because I have a village that can help me with my childcare, blah, 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 blah. And at that time, a lot of people did not want to work weekends. And so everyone was like, sure, yeah, have a Monday through, Wednesday, Thursday off, take all the weekends you want. That worked for me, but I had to present that and set it up to where, this is what I need. And then being intentional about my free time, my days off, I'm telling you, I would get one of these notebooks I got around here and I would write all the things that I would think up during my shift. Like, oh, what would I I would just love to be doing this right now. Or if I was at home, I would be doing this, that, and the other. I would schedule those things in, because I think a lot of times when you get a day off, you get into this like, you just let the day unfold. You just let the day just happen. And you're like, damn, where did the day go? I didn't do anything that I loved, anything that I said I needed to get done, anything that I said I was looking forward to. I just was lazy all day because I didn't plan. And a day that you fail to plan, it is just, how is anything going to happen? You know what I mean? So like I said, I had well thought out chill days, my fun, my social time, my little projects around the house, all that stuff. Maintaining my health and my diet. Oh my God. It is so easy to get in that coffee, Red Bull trap, that eating on the go, junk food, quick food, fast food, that is greasy, that is full of just trash. Whereas the days and the weeks that I was intentional about packing my own food, or even saying, okay, even if I'm not going to pack, I'm going to buy, I'm going to stop at, Panera. I'm going to stop and get a salad. I'm going to stop and get something a little bit more thought out, a little bit more healthy. If I'm going to get Chinese food, I'm going to make sure I get the stewed, not the stewed, the, what are they called? The vegetables, how do they do their vegetables? What are they called? They're called something. The mixed vegetables and the gravy. Oh God, it's escaping me. Oh, I'll pick a Boston Market over, a quick sandwich with fries, those kind of, again, I know Boston Market is still a restaurant, but I felt better about eating broccoli or greens or spinach, stewed spinach, or what's it called? Cream of spinach, versus just fries and onion rings and things like that. So, oh my God, and drinking water, even though that is so basic, I'm telling you, those 12-hour shifts that I just was like, I know I had Starbucks and I reheated it. But when was the last time I had water? Like, just water. And it wasn't good. And so I had a lot of headaches in those days. And I was, combating that. And then I had a skin breakout error because probably my diet and the mask. And I'm sure those masks were coated with a lot of different chemicals that I wasn't used to. And all these things. So diet, your health, vitamins, energy supplements, there's so many different ways that you can add to your everyday meals that will make such a difference. And there's healthy foods that, again, give natural energy, like those little fig balls, energy balls, and adding flax and the chia seeds and different things. So like your oatmeal, and it's just little things you can do. You don't have to be a full out, chef and be kind of getting out of your element, but just finding what works for you. And maybe even if it's hard for you, only do it on the days that you work. Because again, in healthcare, we would work 3 days, maybe a 4th day that's like considered overtime. But those 3 days, I would be like, okay, I gotta get in a salad. I gotta get in maybe some kind of whole grain, or something other than just burger and fries. You know what I mean? And again, that's coming from, I struggle with healthy weight gain because I always felt like I was getting too skinny. And I don't know if you know anything about being, but my family was like, are you sick? Something's wrong with you? Because I used to be 145. And so to be in the 120s, I really struggled with like not having the hips and the thighs and the butt, you know what I mean? So I was always trying to overcompensate for that in a lot of ways. But eating junk, heavy, greasy food isn't the answer. Buddy system. So this kind of ties back into what I was saying about closed mouths don't get fed. I went to my manager and said, hey, can you help me with this? And this is the benefit to you. But other coworkers, in healthcare, I formed relationships and connections, and we helped each other. We did this thing that was kind of like a unit-wide project, but you can start this on your own with a good coworker friend and be like, I got your back, you have my back. Maybe we would switch schedules on our own. Everything didn't need to go to, the head, not travel nurse, the charge nurse to be approved, or the nurse manager to be approved. It'd be like, hey, can you take this shift? I'll work this shift. If I need to go to the bathroom, if I need a moment to just get myself together, can you watch my patients? And if you ever need anything, I will help you in turn. And also too in healthcare, that really is how it goes anyway, because you can't turn every patient, you can't do everything on your own anyway. So that was already kind of built in. But any industry, you might can benefit from having a buddy system with a coworker, so that you can have more of a balance, even just with the 8-hour day or whatever you're doing. Utilizing your break time. I can't stress this enough. I stopped sitting in that break room listening to gossip, listening to a recap of our worst patients, and listening to that loud, blaring TV. That depleted me so much. I only got an hour. So, I kind of stopped eating in the break room, honestly. That's not what I needed. I would go to my car. I would get fresh air. We had these courtyard areas. Even though it was kind of weird to be outside at night, they're well lit, there's security everywhere. So I felt comfortable outside in the little gardens. Like I said, I'd go to my car. Luckily for us, we had this like Zen rejuvenation room that was really nice. It had like 3 huge massage chairs, but again, this is at a hospital level. So for you, it may be leaving the office and going somewhere that isn't far, that is beautiful to you, that has some view, or somewhere that's quiet, somewhere that, you could take a walk. You could go to that restaurant that you love, that cafe that's just a little bit more chill. It's nothing worse than feeling like your time is encroached on and you don't feel like you had a break. That is the whole point. And not just being able to scarf down a meal real quick, but to just put your feet up, take a deep breath. I used to bring my essential oils to work. I'm telling you right now. I would do my roll-ons, do my deep breaths. I would take a nap. I'd have to set a timer because I could be out. But and every once in a while, I would zip to a store, my favorite store, depending on what job I had. Like if it was close to like a little boutique or something, just to get away. Now I get it, everybody doesn't have that luxury, but just being intentional about your break. Oh my God, bring a journal. I would write to myself. I'd bring my planner. I would journal other things that I had thought about. I'd bring my headphones to play my favorite music or a podcast or something I was interested in. But I would bring a whole bag, and I'd be ready to enjoy my break. So really being intentional about that and disconnecting. Keeping it professional prevented the burnout, because it made you get a job or a career, you start a career with the plan of like, okay, at least a 2-year plan. So if you're 3 months in and you are miserable and you don't have a professional rapport, a flow to your workload, and it's catty and it's drama, and everyone is like in everybody's business and they're in your business, that's not professional. So if you never start that, if you don't start, no stuff, won't be no stuff. So even though I talked about having a buddy system and being close with my coworkers, work isn't the place where I need to talk about my dating life and getting everyone's opinion and talking about what's going on with me. Work wasn't the place where I talked about any problems I had. Work wasn't the place where I talked about my money and things that are personal. I kept it professional. You know what professional is. Not only did I carry myself like that, but I dressed the part and I looked the part. And in healthcare can be a little borderline. I've seen the scrubs and the nursing caps be a little too like, why are you wearing a do-rag here? That is not the place nor the time. We've come a long way with being able to wear head wraps. We've come a long way with being able to have braids and natural hair in all different workforce industries. And I'm going to be the one to say it and put it on the internet in 2023 that sometimes it embarrasses me when I see other sisters crossing that boundary of looking to, no, that's not a beautiful head wrap that says you take yourself seriously. You look sloppy. You look like you just rolled out of bed, and you look like you don't take yourself or your position seriously. There is a difference. Bonnets that have that big ass band with metallic glitter characters and patterns and zebra print, it's not the place nor the time. If you want to take a head wrap and put the bow to the side, or a beautiful elegant knot, or tuck it and wrap it and twist it and braid it, that's fine. We've come a long way. But there's a difference, okay? Dreadlocks, sister locks that look linty, that look fuzzy, that look messy. That's not the look. That's not going to get anyone's respect. And it looks like you don't respect yourself if you don't look groomed, clean, and ready to do your job. I said it. I said it. I've had patients ask me about my hair, but not in a way that they were put off by my hair or like they don't respect me as a person. If anything, they're like, wow, it's so tiny. How long did that take? That's it. That's about the extent of it. And I may or may not indulge them. But it's not like I don't want this person to take care of me or come back in my room because she isn't professional. They don't have to say why. It would just be like, I look like I'm not professional. And with the professionalism, how you carry yourself bleeds into like how you work, how you communicate, how you show up. Okay? So, a little stingy, but I'd rather it come from me than someone who is a middle-aged Caucasian person sitting at a board meeting talking about, should we allow this type of, work attire to continue because it's getting out of hand. No. You ain't gonna pull me into no office. You know what I mean? Because I have enough self-respect for myself. Okay. So, and I hate to say it, but even certain wigs and even certain, it's just too much when it's just like, it's just, if you're going to do it right and we don't need to see the line of the lace and all the white flaky gel and the tracks showing and the you don't look your best. You look sloppy. You look like you took 10 seconds in the morning before you came in here. It doesn't have to be that way. Take your time and make it look real. Make it look blended. Make it look professional. Make it look like you are your best self and you're not a joke. You know what I mean? And you're not from the ghetto. So keeping it professional is a very broad umbrella. But again, to recap, it plays into how you show up with your coworkers, how seriously you take yourself, how you show up. Are you dressed the part? Do you look the part? How you communicate, and how reliable you are. That's another thing where, there's a balance between leaving work at work, but when you're there, you are a team player, you are responsible, you help where you can, but but not by sacrificing your own workload. You tell people, hey, I'd love to help you as soon as I finish my stuff. Absolutely, I'm here. The professionalism is learning how to be tactful and learning how to communicate and learning how to say what you need and mean what you say. You know what I mean? So, I didn't have coworkers that, complained about me. I didn't have people that didn't like working my shifts. I didn't have people that, had an issue with me as a person, even though I was private, because I made sure not to cross those lines. And then I would watch. Sometimes being the silent one, you see so much more, you hear so much more. You know what I mean? So it's like you learn from, wow, that coworker just told her whole marriage, and the next day that someone didn't like how she did something, now everybody knows her whole marriage, even though she only told one person. You can avoid all that by not get into that world. And I'm not saying that people are bad and you can't, don't trust your coworkers and don't have a connection with them. People are people. People gonna talk. And I don't even think that people necessarily mean harm, but it becomes a family dynamic because you're with these people all damn day, so things are going to happen. Things are going to be said. And sometimes you may even have a gentle, soft, very soft, let's agree to disagree type of moment. But it's better to have said they don't have nothing on you than to be like, oh, they know all your business. They know all your dirty laundry. and everything in between. And now you're like, ugh, I've mixed personal with professional. You avoid all of that by just being pleasant. Let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the kids. Let's talk about TV. And let's talk about work. And you have a nice day. You have a great life. I have a nice day. I have a great life. And when I clock out, like I said, it's time to get back to me. I am not this job. I am not this building. I am not, this shift. And in healthcare, especially, it's such a fine line, because you do feel the weight of not only the inner workings of a hospital, but your patients, their pain, their problems, their conditions, death, all of that can weigh on you. But you have to find that balance and turn that off so you can renew and reset. And if you need to talk to someone, that's perfectly fine too. But again, you have to be intentional about having that, so that, when you go to your therapy sessions, or when you go to your coaching sessions, your counseling sessions, you have all the things written down. You're like, not only that, you have it scheduled, you have it on the books, and you can say, when I get to my session Tuesday, these are the things that I want to unpack. These are the things that I want to unload, so I can feel lighter and get back to me. That's not anything like over the top. Like, that is a huge essential that I don't think a lot of healthcare employees, essential workers, even teachers tap into enough, because, caring and serving other people can be depleting in a lot of areas that you might not even realize. So your day off, you've done nothing but sleep, not because you were so tired, but because you're so mentally bogged down, and you still feel robbed because your whole day, you didn't necessarily want to sleep, but that's your body's message of like escaping and trying to disconnect. But sleeping, sometimes, you've had those naps where you wake up and you're like, I still feel so exhausted. That's not physical. That's emotional, and that's mental. Trust me, I've been there. And I learned real quick, all right, if I'm going to survive being able to stay up from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., if I'm going to be able to survive all of the stress and the trauma that comes from healthcare, I've got to pour into myself. It goes beyond just, my clinicals and my CNA school does not prepare you nearly enough for, what it takes. But again, this can happen to anyone. In any industry. So, I wanted to make this video because though I am blessed to be a stay-at-home mom right now and focus on going back to school, my life coaching, and my real estate investing, I am not detached. And I remember, it was not that long ago. Let me see. It's April. So, let me see. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. It's been 10 months. And it feels like yesterday. So I am not above, and when I get my degree, I may want to get back in the workforce. I'm going to implement the same tips I'm giving y'all, because I'd be damned. Ain't nobody going to be stressing me out. I'm like, I ain't going to threaten quitting, but y'all not going to work me to the bone. Not with this degree. That's not what I signed up for. I'm happy to help, happy to serve, happy to work in my little field, but you know what I mean? So thank you for watching. Until the next one. Peace. Bye.